Hi everyone, welcome to MaryAnne's Mystic Mentions. I'm MaryAnne. Thank you for tuning in today. I love and appreciate you all, especially the returning subscribers, viewers. You know, your support is everything. It means a great deal. Thank you for that. New viewers, I would love to have you coming back. We'll see what you think, how you resonate, and hopefully it'll inspire you and I'll give you some new information perhaps and reason to want to come back. So welcome to my Sun Sign Love series, where I pick two sun signs and I describe a little bit about each one and the love connection, you know, of all different types, friends, family, soulmates, you know, that special significant one that's there or the one you're thinking you'd like to be there and so forth. So today's two sun signs are for Libra and Sagittarius. I have a special place in my heart for that. I see it constantly in my studies. And so in addition to describing a bit about each sign, and I think the positive aspects with the combination, because I like to keep it positive. There's many things that we can always work on in our relationships. That's what helps us to grow. But I like to emphasize the reasons that I think there's this connection to begin with. And there's a lot to be said about this combination because it's a beautiful one. And then I'm going to read your specific tarot energies and messages, as well as my oracle divination guidelines and guidance messages. And, you know, of course, my intuitive and psychic messages as they come through. And I will be using the Art Nouveau Tarot deck today. And we'll get back to that in just a moment. So let's talk about each sun sign. Let's start with Libra. Libra is the air sign, air element. And air is really just about, right off the bat, the most predominant personality trait that I have seen and known throughout my, once again, you know, studies is, as a Libra, mind. You always think of intellect. You always think of thoughts. You always think of desire to communicate, to get the word out, to write, to, you know, any way that you can to learn, to expand the mind. Very interested in continual expansion of growth and understanding. And Libra is the scales. Libra represents the balance, you know, always striving for that balance. You'll never meet a kinder and more caring, loving person than a Libra who's in balance. But finding and keeping that is always it's a daily consideration for Libras. And they are a cardinal sign, which means they start the season of autumn. So it's coming right up already. And it is about initiating. They like to be doing things. They like to be busy. They are social. They are socialites. They're ruled by the planet Venus. Venus is the planet of love, beauty, aesthetic beauty, you know, just all the senses get involved. Money, support, just loving, gorgeous things that can happen with the energy and influences of Venus, which happens to be in Cancer right now. So that's a real beautiful position for Venus. It's definitely about our heart and our relationships and the compassion that we have, that watery, very sensitive part of us that comes out, the vulnerable side that actually a lot of air signs obviously have, but they don't really exhibit. Because once again, they work from their minds and their thoughts. But Libra is predominantly known for wanting to be fair. They're incredibly social and love to be in relationships of all kinds. So a Libra in good balance is one in a relationship. And it doesn't have to be one specific person, you know, like a marriage and that sort of thing. Yes, it matters a lot to them. Yes, that's most of the time what you're going to see, but I'm talking about the need for a Libra to be in a good friendship and in a good relationship with their family members or whoever they're with. They want it to work out. They want it to be a beautiful connection, you know, and they're going to strive to make that happen. They really do. In fact, they're known to be people pleasers at times. They're known to be wishy-washy because they say that Libras have a lot of indecision. I think that has a lot to do with the other planets, but we are just speaking of the sun signs now. The sun sign is that 1/12 of us. It is our personality, or the traits that I'm speaking of that are predominant for each specific sign. Each of us have a little bit of each sign in us on our birth chart, the moment we're born. That blueprint, the houses, to make it simplified in our chart, has an astrology sign in each one. Those houses represent different aspects of our life, from our families to our money, to our careers, to our health and so forth. So like I said, we have a little influence from each of the signs, but the personality trait that's been specifically designated to any particular sign is because of that month they're born, usually 2 months, the latter part of 1 month going into the next for a good 30 days. And so you're going to find the trait of fairness and justice and equilibrium, once again, beauty, the desire to be aesthetically beauty. Their interests lie in the arts, they lie in creativity, in being around beautiful things, in creating beautiful things like relationships. They are great with interior design. They are absolutely beautiful when it comes to anything that makes them, feel that beautiful sensual part of life, that kind of gives them the natural beauty of things too, that life can bring, that nature can bring. Right now we have the moon in Taurus, so I say that because I'm feeling that calming, natural, down-to-earth kind of practical side that's coming through, and I felt that this morning, in fact. There was just this ease about things. And the air signs are air. They're the vocal aspect, right? You need air to be able to speak, to be able to breathe, to be able to change, to be able to communicate and reach others. Yeah, it's an essential element. But yes, so the Libras love that. They love being treated well. They love tasting good foods. They love life. They really do. And so, yeah, it's just, there's a lot to be said. Mainly the fact that they sometimes will be self-sacrificing in a relationship, not necessarily wanting to leave it. And as far as the indecision I was talking about, it's really about them trying to see all sides of situations at all times. It's a constant work in progress, in their minds. And then when they reach that decision, they're solid. That's it. It may take a while, but once they get there, there's no vacillating after that. So, yeah, and I've known a lot of Libras that are very good at making decisions. Maybe not about small, ridiculous things, though, like in the store, what tomato should I get, and that. They can be caught up in things like that. But I guess mainly it's just they don't want to rush into decisions. But once they do, like I said, they're very solid, and they will stick to that decision for the most part. Now, we have then the compatibility and connection with the Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Sagittarius is unbelievable optimism and fun and adventure. Sagittarius is a mutable sign, so they love changeability. They're adaptable. They're constantly wanting to do new things and go new places. They represent the half man, half horse. So they're definitely interested in travel and exercise, and they love keeping their body, moving. They've got this constant energy with that fiery energy going on inside, even if it doesn't appear to be so on the outside. It's always burning in there, and they need to release that. But they have this arrow, as the symbol of the horse and the arrow, because when they shoot that arrow and they think far into the future and they have this total desire and dream, they will reach that goal. I mean, there's nothing going to stop them. And they also love travel. They're incredibly prone to travel. Once again, movement. They don't like to be confined. They don't like to make commitments in any regard until they're darn ready to do so. So as far as the relational aspect of a Libra and a Sagittarian, you never want to rush them. They'll do it in their own time. And if they're going to do it, this is going to be a beautiful relationship commitment that they would make on their own time. And that's important. But what I love is that even though, yes, Libras love, relationship and commitment and that special love that they can devote, you know, because when the Libra loves somebody, it's all about that person. It's they have those blinders on, you know, and they find great joy in that. But Libras can be very independent, so they're workable with that whole Sagittarius vibe because they're so much fun, and they open up doors and ideas for Libra, you know, who's wanting to continue to learn. And speaking of learning, the Sagittarius is about the high learning, the higher education. You know, they're very interested in truth. If you want the truth, you're going to get it from a Sagittarius, and sometimes it can be hurtful. I'm serious. It's just depending on how sensitive you are. I have a son that's a Sagittarius. He's an amazing, wonderful son. He's a beautiful man. He does a lot for the world, and he's a generous guy. I could go on and on. Constantly traveling, doing everything I'm speaking of. He was always in sports. He has to be moving. But he'll say things sometimes. It'll just be like, whoa. Okay, could you have just sugarcoated it just a little bit, or just a little more tactful? And they don't mean to hurt you. They honestly don't. That's not at all their intention. It just comes straight out. And then you grow to really love and appreciate that. At least I do, because I don't want the, you know, embellishments and all that. It's a waste of time and such. So that is going to happen with the Sagittarius. But the two of them together, now, Sagittarius is also ruled by Jupiter. So Jupiter is the absolute benevolent planet. I mean, to have that as your ruling planet is one of the most incredible gifts in itself. It is just the opportunities that come, they seem to come easily for Sagittarians. You know, they have luck all the time. They're just in the right place at the right time. It's a beautiful energy and vibe you kind of just resonate towards, you know, and you want a piece of that. Yeah, there's no shortage of interest in most Sagittarius that I've ever known, because they have that twinkle and that magic kind of dust around them, and it intrigues you and it draws you to them. And so this is beautiful, and I've seen, like I said, this combination so many times. What else can I say? I believe, yeah, they're both masculine dualities, meaning, you know, we have a little bit of both in each, but the astrology wheel has been broken into 6 astrology signs that are masculine and 6 that are feminine. The 2 of them are both masculine, so they kind of can think along those lines. And when I say masculine, I mean they're more interested in, like I said, the mind and the thoughts and things, as opposed to the feminine, nurturing, receptive, like watery signs and some earth signs and so forth. Actually, in each element, there are both feminine and masculine dualities. So, but in this case, yes, it's the masculine with the Libra and the feminine and masculine with the Sagittarius. There's a lot of common interest here. There's a lot of interest in new. There's a lot of interest in adventure. There's a lot of interest in seeking truth and breaking barriers, you know, and innovative kind of let's see where we can go with this. Let's get out of the conformity and the boxes that are been built up for us, you know. I've known a lot of Libras that are very concerned about activism and that truth and fairness in life, in relationships, in anything. They make amazing counselors. I just love, there's so many wonderful speakers that are Sagittarians and Libras. Libras lean towards the spiritual side. They definitely like the mystery and occult. I don't know, a lot of Sagittarians do. Absolutely, there's going to be that mixture. Great astrologists that I've met that are Sagittarians. But it's a type of higher learning in a way, right? It's just what their mindset and what their specific interests are. Just fun and joy. And we have Leo season happening right now. And Leo season is this energy of vibrance and let's get out. I hate to say it, you know, we're ending summer in another month or so. It's like, okay, here's our last final hurrah, right? Because it's been an interesting year, as we know. And a lot of times we've had to give up and change our plans this year. Well, now that's changed. A lot of people I know, my son included, you're going on these little staycays, you know, we're getting out a little more, being safe. This is the time, and this is what you two are feeling, and it's a beautiful camaraderie. It's a definite friendship basis always, I think, for both of them. I think they work on the friendship aspect, and then it grows and grows, and then perhaps leads to something more permanent. But either way, I think they're going to be friends for life. I feel like if it's not a love connection you're looking into as far as, your perfect soulmate and so forth, yes, it's an amazing connection for friends, but you know that. And you know what I'm speaking of. This is one of the best combinations that I believe in the whole zodiac of combinations, which are so many, that I see over and over and over again, and I've experienced myself first-handedly. And you never forget this relationship. It'll linger on, and you'll have beautiful memories. I mean, there's always situations that go beyond the astrology, because there's nature versus nurture, and there's how people were raised, and various things like that always enters into it. And then there's nothing that can be mistaken for the chemistry, good old chemistry, right? Regardless if it looks good on paper or in the stars. But absolutely love this for the two of you. And yeah, fun times. And then we also have Aries in Mars. It's going into retrograde, but it's been in Mars since the latter part of June, I believe, and it's going to be there through January. Yes, we're going to lose that emphasis and that fiery kind of energy, and with the fire sign like Sagittarius, who thrives on their sister brother fire signs like Aries and Leo. They're feeling it now, man. They're taking good advantage of it, because there were such delays with the retrogrades, and then the eclipses caused change, and the Mercury retrograde. It's all full speed ahead. This is not the time to have fun. Enjoy yourselves immensely. I think you already are. I think those plans are set to get away. And I'm going to discuss with you your specific energy messages for today, which is actually August 11th, 2020, and onward. These energies move about, and they affect people sometimes longer, shorter. It really is relative to what's happening in your life. So if you don't feel this right away, give it some time. Pretty foolproof with these beautiful readings. They're just coming through just to give you guidance and, encouragement and some maybe insight, hopefully, as to some things you've been feeling, but you weren't exactly sure what it meant or what it was about. So I'll turn them over and explain them as we go along. And there will be under 4 categories. And, excuse me, I don't know what happened there. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Well, I understand this. This has been a repeated one. And I always like to do the foundation card, which is the root and the basic way that you've been feeling as a catalyst card, I guess, to this point in this reading. You have the Page of Cups. That's all about love. I don't know if I mentioned Venus went into Cancer, the planet of love, the one ruled by Libra. And it's our heart. It's opening our heart. It's information about this relationship. It's like kind of new and fresh. And it doesn't mean that you haven't been in this relationship for a while, but it means let's do something different. Let's go to this place we've never been together and enjoy ourselves on all levels. Because this is an amazing, intimate, passionate relationship too, by the way. No issues there that I've ever heard about in my experiences. So that just is a beautiful aspect to this fiery, burning, passionate energy we're in right now through the end of the month. And the new moon in Leo isn't going to hurt you any either, and that's on the 18th. But going back to Cancer, and Venus in Cancer, it's just taking that time together, and really feeling really good. Now, it could have to do with, it's just this kind of fun, young, youthful energy that comes with any page. And so maybe bringing that out of ourselves again, and the two of you acting like you did when you were younger and doing things you haven't done in a really long time. Actually focusing on that, because sometimes we get so caught up in our responsibilities and all of that. That's kind of making me think that. And then also maybe talk of children. I mean, it's something that people who love each other talk about, right? Considering it, maybe finding out news of friends that are having children. But it's pretty new. So if you haven't heard it yet, you heard it here. Let me know, please comment. And if you are liking what you're seeing, I would love you to subscribe and help support this channel. It's free and it's very supportive, actually. Liking, sharing, and that sort of thing would be greatly appreciated. So that was your foundation, and I love it. And your very first card, which is under the category of overall energy for today and moving forward, is the Two of Cups. You guys are amazingly kind of loving right now. It's really coming through. This is exactly what you see. You know, there's not much more I need to elaborate, but it's a really good combination. It's a really good, heartfelt, joyful connection you're having. And you're making sure of it, you know. It's like I said, let go of those worries and the strife and all that we've been going through for months. Lift it up, let it go. Hold each other, you know. You both care a great deal about each other. I feel laughter. I feel energy, like I said, that hasn't been there necessarily. Building and just feeling that restoration in ourselves again, you know, maybe starting an exercise regimen, but regardless of that, you're doing it together. And I don't know what that means. It could be business, it could be, you know, moving in together, it could be getting married, getting engaged, anything you want to say. This is representative of love and a beautiful connection happening. That's a really great way to start the reading, right? Now, the next category is under the category of possible blessings or obstacles, and you have the major arcana, the High Priestess. I love this card. This is really, I didn't mention it, but I think I might have. Yeah, well, the higher learning can be representative for a Sagittarius, also about religious or, you know, occult interests and delving into the unknown, mysterious aspects of life and really becoming quite familiar. A lot of intuitive capabilities with a lot of Sagittarians and definitely Libra. So you both are kind of feeling each other on another level, not just the physical or mental, but that spirit energy is coming through. And the two of you have really been recognizing that and listening to your intuition, really trusting it and feeling really positive about it, and knowing you're being divinely guided and knowing that things are going to work out. They really are. And we're seeing proof of that, because there was so much confusion, excuse me, I can't even speak. So much confliction, right? But when you go inside, where you have your conversations, because I think the two of you can have beautiful, deep, meaningful conversations together, you really come to the same understanding that what's in here and what's being guided to you is exactly what you need to do and what you need to stay strong to and believe in. And that makes a lot of sense. That's what this really represents. It's your higher power, your intuition, your psychic ability, but also divinely guided too. But it's the ultimate in that. It is that co-creation with the universe. All connected, right? Really, really beautiful. The blue is the third eye. The new moon is, you know, coming up. So that's in the picture too. Something might be really revealed and you're kind of knowing what that is. You're waiting for something. You're waiting on answers. You have an idea in your own mind and your own soul. But the information will be forthcoming. Now, the next category is under the category of love. You have the Nine of Wands. Well, this has just been taken on too much. You guys have been working you've been way too busy. It's time to get back to this. This is what I'm speaking of, the two of you, you know? This is the end of the cycle, though. Any kind of wand represents fire, so that's definitely the Sagittarian energy happening here. You could have fire in your chart, Libra. That would make you even more compatible. Perhaps the Sagittarian has the water or air, excuse me. And that's a whole different aspect, you know. I mean, you got to look up your charts because it's a phenomenal study. You just get deeper and more layers as to who we are, why we're in the relationships we are. It explains everything. The sun sign is fun though, because it's a personality and it's, you know, it's kind of, the ego and expressing who we are, what we feel, what we like. Really getting to know and appreciate each other on that level. Yeah, so there's been a lot of responsibilities I'm seeing, and both of you kind of felt the weight of it, but that's the end. The 9 is the completion. Then you go to the 10, and it's the new cycle again, and that's what we're reaching anyway with any new moon. Certainly every month we have an opportunity to do that, but it's more than that. It's way more than that. This is like a whole new revelation in a way, a whole new job change perhaps, because that's about the wands and action and seeing things through and that motivation that's fired up, in Leo season and in Sagittarians in general. Yeah, so there's that to consider, and just knowing that you don't have to take all that load on yourselves. Take a vacation now. Now's the time. That's what this is telling me. Spending quality, beautiful time together and letting that go. You've had to do too much anyway. I know a lot of people have been working through this whole time of, the whole lockdown situation. Yeah, but that's what that says. So have no fear. That's any real extra burdens. You're alleviating them now. It's time. And the next category is under the category of finances. And wow, once again, you have the 5 of Wands. You're not buying it anymore. You're not interested in the controversial, the conflicts, the outside influences that are just so confusing right now. There's no other real word to describe it. There's a lot of, with this Mars in Aries though, I know that you understand this because this is the fire. You get the fire part, I don't know who you are specifically on a personal level, but I know that with Mars and Aries, it's going to agitate us more. We're going to have times where we're going to lose our tempers. But if it's not us, we're hearing it and feeling it and seeing it. And I know I am. Things are happening out of the blue, and I just go the other way. That's what I choose to do. I don't want to feed into that. And you're very aware of that when it comes to finances right now in this world. And I don't think you're affected by that. I think it's outside, and I know for a fact, out of the 2 of you, Sagittarian is not going to stop and mess with anything. They're thinking, what is it I can do to improve? That's their motto. That's the arrow. That is their ambition. They are optimistic. They are happy. They are joyful to improve and to not get stuck in the mire, and the competition is another word that comes out. Now, you may have a job that's very competitive as far as finances, and we've all been affected in some way, even with that. But I'm saying that I think that that's something that is more external, and the confusion is going to end because it just has to, but we have to be patient. Yeah, fire signs aren't always so patient. Even Libras aren't, but we just have to be. We have to resolve that. We have to know for ourselves what's real, what's true, what you've built together, what you intend on building together, and waiting out the situation, because we're all in the same boat right now. But you're going away. You're going to enjoy yourself. You love each other. You've got this together. You're staying strong. You're supporting each other, and that can change and move mountains, as they say. So yeah, just being aware of that, staying clear, make sure you're careful driving, any of those things, because people could have rage, road rage, all that stuff. It's out there. Finances are going to be fine. Five is challenges, but it's about changes. It's about, working through them. So it'll be fine. You'll be okay. I trust in you completely. You put a lot of hard work into it. And you're not going to take no for an answer, and you're not giving up. So stay strong. This isn't a time to go forward. It's a time to have fun. And September brings in yet new energies that are going to be beautiful. And then we'll go into retrogrades. We have still a few. We had a huge retrograde season that affected all of us. Nothing was going forward. Plans of reconstruction in the home or moves and all that were delayed. That's already moved forward for you. So yeah, speak your truth. And get the answers you need, because you're not going to hold back. But know that, you know, things are improving every day. Every single day. Now, the next categories are under the oracle messages. And I incorporated this month. I hope you like it. It's my color intuition, because colors are phenomenal and they do bring energy, and they represent the different chakras, you know, in our bodies, and the energy systems that promote specific emotions and energies, like the third eye for our vision, our root chakra for our security, finances, and so on and so forth. And they all have a color to them. But let me just pull for you some of the messages that come through in regards to the healing and the beautiful aspects of color and their effects on us. Yours is, well, it's vibrant, passionate red for fire. It's green for heart. You know, it's like Christmas, right? And the red is also, like I said, the root, the security, and the heart is knowing, and it's that beautiful intuition. Our heart actually has the most intuitive aspect of our entire body, the biggest organ that represents intuition. Your heart always knows, I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm a Libra. I think from my head, but when I do ask to have things go down to my heart for answers, that's the real McCoy, as they would say. Let me read you the message. 29 equals 11. 29 equals 11, so that's 2 and 2, so that is the partnership. That is a master number, and we're on August 11th, so that's a nice synchronistic kind of connection. Your message is about love. Self-love is essential, for I cannot see the love in the hearts of others or in the world if I do not know it in myself. The love I feel for the divine echoes throughout my life and sets my course. Love is all around. That's really predominant with what I'm seeing here, because in regards to your relationship and your connection, it's real and it's true, and it's large, it's big, it's expansive. But the self-love is what actually helped to instigate that anyway. And, you know, we all work on that at all times, but that's essential for us to have that real connection we're looking for. You know, you build upon it when you feel that strength within yourself. Those are the relationships that have, I think, the best outcomes. You know, we're always working on everything, but it's just an important reminder. I love that, especially for the love connection reading. So let's go on to the super attractor manifestation message for you specifically. And of course, this is about manifesting the life we want, feeling it into place. You know, really, really recognizing what we're feeling and how we're feeling, because that's what we're putting out and that's what we will receive. It's a really simple law, but it's absolute, you know. And it's shown time and time again. It's just, it can be simple, but I always have to remind myself, and I love the guidance here for that reason alone. Your specific card today is directing my focus on to what's thriving creates more of what I want. Recognizing our blessings, recognizing what is working, recognizing I'm focusing on that and nothing else. Thinking of what I want, not what I don't want, right? Isn't that gorgeous? I haven't picked that in a really long time. That's what's going to bring it into, you know, actual can't even think of the word. You know, manifestation. You know, physical form. 2 words. That's it. So never give up on that belief. That's imperative. The last is going to be your healing with the angels message. Always love it. You know, adoring virtue, just wonderful. And angels are there to help us. You know, they can always guide us. And there's so many, and they have different reasons and seasons, and they're always there for us. And they don't do it for us, but they certainly guide us. They give us messages. They give us signs. Happens all the time. and you have friendship. So, of course, like I said, interestingly, I love this relationship for many reasons, but I also know that there's this beautiful friendship foundation that doesn't go away. It just gets built upon between the two of you. And also, I believe you two have great friends and friendships that you look forward to being around and visiting, and that might be part of your, getaway. Maybe you're in touch with some you haven't seen in a while. And it's really important to both of you. Your social circle is quite vast. And I don't think anybody can have enough friends or enough viewers or, enough people to love in the world. So I get emotional because love is a very powerful and a miraculous energy that can transform our lives, right? When we allow it to do so. When we open up to that. So I love this reading a lot. I see that you've probably worked a little too hard and you need to really take some downtime, even if you are a fire sign. And Libra, work with that and work with your connection and just, you know how to do that. You're very diplomatic. You understand how to reach people. It's not manipulating. It's just that real love and concern you have. And enjoy yourselves. Have great, great fun, okay? Remember the meaning of fun. And it should be a beautiful, beautiful month and remainder of the month. And once again, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you. And I hope I'll see you back again. Okay, so till next time, take good care. Bye for now.